Though your pillow's soft and deep, you're not sleepy as you seem. Stay awake, don't nod and dream. That was Julie Andrews from Mary Poppins Stay Awake, which underrated part of Disney, which is actually genuinely my favorite part of Disney, is lullabies. The lullabies of Disney. I'm talking Stay Awake. I'm talking La La Lou from Lady and the Tramp. I'll give you a sample. La La Lou, la la loo, oh my little star sweeper, I'll sweep the stardust for you. La la loo, and so on. I'm talking Your Mother and Mine from Peter Pan. Your mother and mine. Your mother and mine. Oh, baby. And you can count anything from Snow White as a lullaby on the Loke. And you can low-key count anything from Sleeping Beauty as a lullaby on the Loke. But the lullabies are the best part of the early Disney movies. They're so soothing. They're so sweet. They're so calming. And I have all of them on my normal ass sleeping, like getting ready for bed playlist. And they work. That's the thing about lullabies. They actually work. And I'm not just saying this. For me, something that has really helped me, because y'all know I meditate. And when I meditate when I'm feeling genuinely extremely anxious, like a panic attack type of vibe is coming on. I'm like, okay, let me pop in and meditate. And then sometimes when I wake up and I'm so tired, like basically if I have time in the morning and I'm awake enough, I will meditate. If I'm like a little sleepy and then I meditate, I'm going to fall back asleep. That's too risky. But if you're like, I want to meditate, but it seems hard, just put on a meditation before you go to bed and see if it helps you fall asleep easier if you follow with like a guided breathing meditation, because that's what I do. And it does calm you down. And if you specifically do ones that like help you sleep, which I do, then they are like really beneficial and like they just calm you down. You know what I mean? It's basically a lullaby. You're lullabying yourself to sleep, but as an adult. And even if you go to sleep like that, then great, you're going to sleep. And if you don't go to sleep, you get to have a lovely meditation where you're trying your genuine best. That's all meditating is. And whenever people are like, meditation is not for me, or meditation, like, I just can't focus. It's okay, girl. It's okay. All you need to do is try to focus. That's all meditation is just like stop everything you're doing, focus on the present, and if you're like starting to think about stuff, be like, oh wait, I need to go back. And then slowly, if you keep on doing that over time, you will eventually be meditating and like really focusing on like your body and your movements and your breaths. Okay? It's not that fucking hard after a while. And sleep meditation is like the way to get into it. But no, I love the lullabies. And also a special shout out, the last lullaby I'll talk about from Disney that I truly love is Baby Mine from Dumbo. Baby Mine from Dumbo, bitch. Literally, dude, that movie. Dumbo is literally, okay, there is some racist bad things in there. It's really not great. And I do not watch those parts. I'm specifically talking about the mother and baby elephant relationship. And the like music is so sweet. Baby Mine from Dumbo. Oh. Like, I don't even want kids. And I cry when I see Baby Mine. Like, it's my favorite lullaby. It's baby mine, don't you cry. Baby mine, dry your eye. Rest your head close to my heart, never to part. heart, baby of mine. It's so sweet. And in it, you're watching all the zoo animals and the mom cradling the baby. And you're watching, like, the fucking mom elephant hold out her trunk from inside of a jail cell in which she was wrongly imprisoned for protecting her child. And she's cradling Dumbo in her fucking trunk, wiping fucking tears away. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That is the most emotional thing ever. That's so emotional. That's so emotional. I can't even handle it. I can't handle it. I also feel like, I think Big Red, the Pixar movie, I don't know if you saw that. I was like an adult when I saw it for sure. But like, it's talking about the mother-daughter relationship in a more like nuanced, interesting way. But I think like normal ass Disney, like not normal, like early Disney did what they did really well is put a very beautiful like parent-child relationship in their films. And then over time it started to be like, oh, Ariel's mom dies. And it's like, no, I want to see Ariel with her mom. That's what makes Little Mermaid 2 so good with Melody, is that relationship. And that one's a little more like Big Red. It's a little more nuanced. It's a little more difficult of a relationship. But I think that's so beautiful to see, like, just genuine, beautiful parenting in Disney. I think it's so sweet. That's my favorite stuff. I really do prefer early Disney. Like, I have a soft spot in my heart. I would say, like, in terms of being a Disney adult, I think I would consider, I'm going to take that back. I would not consider myself a Disney adult. I grew up with Disney as a child, and I remember them from my childhood. And then I've seen a couple since I've, like, grown up as an adult. Like, as 18 plus, I've seen a couple in there. But I'm not, like, you can't see my gums when I smile. I'm not dating someone from the military. I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not this, like, Disney adult that I feel like very few people actually are. I think most people have a general, like, yeah, Disney is fine, right? Nonetheless, who cares? Like, honestly, who cares? Disney's great. I if you're not a Disney adult, I'm just like, okay, whatever, man. I'm gonna go to Disney World. Like, okay, dude. I've seen, like, maybe all the Studio Ghibli movies once. I would go to that amusement park. I love amusement parks. I haven't even seen all the DC comics. I haven't read any of the DC comics, but I can go to Six Flags and have the time of my life because it doesn't really matter. So if you're going to Disney World and you don't know all the Disney stuff, it's still an amusement park. I would want to go to that if it had no theme or if it had a theme. It's more fun if it has a theme. So it's like, if you don't want to do that, then maybe you're boring. Like, you know what I mean? But I understand Disney has a lot of connotations and it's meant for children, but that's the beauty of Disneyland. That's why fucking Walt Disney fucking made it, is so that adults could get in touch with their inner child and children could, like, have some entertainment for their goddamn once in their damn lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, sorry, it's good. It's good. And also, I am a proponent of picture books. That's what these movies are, is they're just trying to explain emotional health to children. And sometimes, as an adult, you get, like, so mixed up with, like, you know, you don't see the purity in emotions. And sometimes you need it explained to you very simply to understand it. Sometimes the most simple things are the truest things. You know what I mean? That's what makes Mr. Rogers so good. I watch Mr. Rogers videos all the time. And what am I literally talking about? It's true, though. I watch Mr. Rogers videos all the time. I listen to his albums, because he has a couple albums, and it's the sweetest thing that you can do for yourself is watch Mr. Rogers and go on, like, he goes on, like, late night talk shows. I've seen his, like, speech in front of Congress, all this stuff, and he explains emotions so simply, and it is so pure and simple and true that it's, like, undeniable. It's just morals that are undeniable. And sometimes you need a reminder. And I'm like, I think the world would be a better place if we all watched Mr. Rogers every morning as, like, a morning announcement across the world. pop in a Mr. Rogers video. We would understand our emotional selves and like how to work with others in the world much better. But that's the same concept with like a Disney or a Pixar movie. Like the whole point of Soul is like live in the present, like right? That's the point, right? I just watched the the Testament of Anne Lee. And I'll come back to that, but I didn't understand that one either. I'm just not smart. And I need things explained to me. And then once you explain it to me, I have my opinions, I have my thoughts, I have my judgments. But if I don't even know what's going on, I can't really have an opinion of it. And that's how I feel with those things. But back to picture books, Disney movies, the movie Soul is basically about like, don't be focused on like these concepts of like, am I an accomplished human being? Are you like living in the moment? Are you like embracing life as it should come to you? And are you enjoying life? Are you like sitting down and appreciating life? That is living your life. This like concept of like, you have these goals, you have these anxieties, you're not what you thought you would be, that you're living inside your head. The whole point of Soul is to live in the world in the present. Okay, that's my opinion. I love that movie. And even if a child isn't able to like articulate what that movie is about, they still get the damn picture. You know what I mean? Like, it's still, you get that vibe of what that meaning is in the movie. It's just about the small things. It's about appreciating the moment that you're in. You can get that message from that movie. That is a hard concept to teach to a child and to express to a child. And you have Disney and Pixar doing that for you. And much less Inside Out. Let me tell you something. Inside Out was the most revolutionary movie. It's like prophetic. It's prophetic in a way that I'm like, y'all hate on Disney. Inside Out is so just, it gave us an ability to talk about emotions in a way, with children specifically, in a way that we never have been able to identify them before. And it's like, these are all helpful emotions to have. That is such an important concept. It's the way that you use that emotion that matters, and you learn something from that emotion. Just because you're mad doesn't mean you automatically are gonna yell and scream and punch a wall. That's not the choice you have to make. You can use anger as a helpful emotion and calm yourself down and explain how you actually feel and why you feel angry, and then we can turn that anger into a different emotion. You know what I'm saying, dog? So when I'm talking about Inside Out, it's actually a prophetic movie. And that's giving me the same vibes as Mr. Rogers. It's simplistic, and it's giving words to things that even adults have trouble. A lot of adults, I think most adults, have trouble doing. But I actually read this picture book, and I'll stop talking about children's literature and fantastical worlds in just 5 seconds. But I read this picture book that was about like this panda bear, mom and son, which of course, we're back to the parent-child relationship. The baby panda was feeling really overwhelmed, and he's like, what should I do? Like there's things, he was basically like overwhelmed and anxious, and was like, there's a lot of bad things happening in the world. What can I do about it? And like, as this little baby kid panda, okay? And do you know what the fucking like parent says? They say, every single time you're kind, you're saving the world. Every single time you do a kind act, you're saving the world. That is a very simple concept, but it's true. It's true. It's true. It's literally true. And I live by that. You are saving it from everything wrong going on. And I hate to be like a positive pally over here, or whatever the fuck, a positive patty. But it's the fucking truth. And I'm going to talk about something else that is the truth. But I need to talk about the Testament of Anne Lee. But I want to talk about Traitors, because I just finished the last episode of Traitors. Once again, if you're not watching Traitors, I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It is seriously They are feeding us. My mouth is wide open. They have like a big ass spoon and they're dumping crap in my mouth. That's how much they're feeding me. They're feeding me content. It's a fucking airplane and I'm a baby. Okay? They're making some of the best reality television I've ever seen. It is progressively getting better as a show, and the players are getting better and learning the game better, and they're at a point in like the history of their show, because I think this show is going to go on for honestly a very, very long time. I think it has staying power. And similarly to Big Brother and Survivor, the first couple seasons being so effing good is why there's 30 seasons of the show, or 40 or 50 seasons of the show. Is because those first couple seasons were so good, and that's how I feel about the Traitors. Right now, Rob is playing Hot Love Island boy Rob is playing a game that like Boston Rob would play his first season of Survivor. That's how good he's playing. He's playing it so well. And he's not making the same mistakes that he did last season, which tells me, I don't know if he watched the show, but the way he's playing is acting like he's watched the show and has seen what other people, learned from other people's mistakes. Because last season, basically, all the Traitors had an open alliance outside the game, and then as soon as one of them was showed to be a traitor, then they were like, well, then you're a traitor because you're her best friend. And it was true. And then they got all the traitors out. And that's how the Faithfuls won that season. This season, Rob is being like, I can't just never vote for a traitor if they're in the hot seat, because then it's going to ruin my game. The only problem with that is that it's a double-edged sword, though, because if you exposed a traitor, I'm like so into it. If you exposed a traitor, then the other traitors do not trust you. And that's the double-edged sword. Is like, okay, well, I think Candace is being not talked about enough. She is a terrific traitor. She's terrific. The conga line was like, I think it could bite her in the ass later on in the game if they ever do question her. That is a very obvious, like, she made us do a conga line and there was a murder in plain sight. But I think they got robbed. I don't know. But I could see that biting her in the ass just because it was so random. That being said, she pulled it off. And almost every single decision she's making is a decision that I would make too. Like, she's a housewife, so it seems normal for her to defend Lisa. She is staying loyal. She is like locking in. She's not voting for Lisa. She's voting for Ron and supporting the Ron vote. Like, she's being a loyal but still a smart player for herself. She's playing it so well, and no one expects her. And I know everyone's talking about Rob because he's making really great choices as a traitor on the show. And Lisa, honestly, like, it's over for Lisa. I hate to say it, but quite frankly, Lisa Rinna was an obvious pick to me. And I honestly felt that way about Donna. The fans want to see, or the general public wants to see, like, the sweetest, kindest America's Mom version ever be a traitor. That's what we want. So when they were like a secret traitor, I was like, okay, it's going to be Donna. And so the fact that she was out so soon, I was like, guys, like, I wanted to see her do more stuff. But I'm like, yeah, obviously she's a traitor because she's the least expected to be a traitor. Like, I feel like that on the producer's part, I felt like that was an obvious one. And that's kind of how I feel about Lisa Rinna, is I'm just like, it's like making Boston Rob a traitor. It's so obvious. Whereas when you, like, do the fan service of, like, giving it to a Lisa Rinna, obviously if Lisa Rinna is on a show, they're going to pick her to be a traitor. That's just how I feel. That's how I felt last season about Dan from Big Brother. It's like, you have someone who is one of the best of all time on any single reality show. Of course they're going to be a traitor. And he got voted out because he was. So I think Rob being a traitor is genius. I think even Candace being a traitor is genius. But Lisa Rinna to me is such an obvious choice to be a traitor that I'm like, it's not even fair. Because of course she's a traitor. She's Lisa Rinna. That's why she's on the show, is to be a traitor. You don't want to see her be a faithful. That being said, she's doing a great job. Like, Lisa Rinna is Lisa Rinna for a reason. She's a great actress. She's authentic and real and dropped in, and she is she is Lisa fucking Rinna for a Lisa fucking reason, bitch. Like, she is. Rob is genuinely impressing me so much, and Candace is too. I think the traitors are doing great. I think Lisa is done for because, unfortunately, I think everyone's too far down the rabbit hole with her that it's kind of like a Ron situation where, like, it's like, we've questioned you so much that if we ever do get to the very end with you, we're going to vote you out because there's always going to be a sliver of what if. Whereas if you never even get questioned, then it's just so, like, we know you're a faithful. Everyone knows you're a faithful. You know what I mean? But that being said, Ron getting voted out, I felt so maternal towards Ron. I was like, stop being so mean to him. He's such an articulate person, and he's a very good comedian. And I felt so bad for him because, quite frankly, Portia, I have watched a couple seasons of Real Housewives of Atlanta. I didn't watch the seasons where Portia was in them, so I'm not familiar with her as a person. But I know her because of, like, I'm a big fan of Housewives. So I know her iconic moments. Like, I know that. So, but that being said, like, I did not realize she was gonna slip up so much. Like, quite frankly, it's not even anything against Portia. I think just in general, if you're someone that's playing a game and you slip up that much, you're going to be voted out regardless of who you are. Even if you're, like, a fucking tennis player, you're gonna get voted out. So it's nothing against her. It was honest mistakes. Like, that sucks. But that being said, like, Ron was not wrong to vote her out because she messed up, and she would have kept messing up to the point that it's like, you need to be voted out. It's too weird. There's too many slip-ups. And I just feel bad because I'm like, everything Ron said was right. Ron is a sweetie pie. He's trying really hard in missions. He's isolated. And that's why Rob is so endearing, is because Rob is literally, I did not watch Love Island. I hear he was a dick. He is so charming and redeeming on this show. He is giving the performance right now and giving the character arc that Colton thought he was going to be giving. I need to talk about Colton because let me tell you something. I don't usually talk bad about people unless they're misogynistic fucking pieces of shit men. I'm going to be honest with you. And at that, white men. If they're specifically white men who have egos and levels of narcissism that are ungodly for this earth because they are the most privileged. Do you know what I mean? And Colton, I understand that The Traitors is a reality show and they want to put someone on there that's controversial. Last season they had Tom Sandoval because he was a controversial person, but we could laugh at him. He took things that were stupid very seriously. He was going through public drug withdrawals on television. It's funny to laugh in his face after he just cheated on his girlfriend of 10 years with her best friend. It's funny to laugh in his face and be like, isn't he an idiot? Ha 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 ha. That's redeeming because at least we get to laugh. Colton literally has criminal charges against him. He put a tracker on a woman's car. Like, he is a stalker. He's a dangerous person. And the reason I feel so strongly about that is because we're watching a show that he does not look like a good person. We're seeing, the best part of reality television is that you're seeing the secret conversations. That's what's fun about it, is you get to see what goes on in private. We are seeing who Colton is when he's put in a situation where he's angry, where he's gossiping about someone, where he thinks he's right. And it's actually crazy because it honestly makes me very uncomfortable watching the show. Because I'm like, I know that when you're angry, you're a fucking asshole, dick, ass bitch. And you take that out on the people around you. Because that's how you act. That's how you really act. I know we're in a show. I know it's reality television, but these are real emotions. Like, if you feel attacked, you're going to defend yourself. This is how you look defending yourself. Colton, when he's defending himself, is scary. And he's taking this show way too seriously, and we're seeing a very dark side to him. And it's actually really not fun to watch because I know what he did to that girl. And so I'm like, this is not, they can't have people on the show like that, okay? Look, I hate Tom Sandoval like the next woman. I like everyone else in the fucking world. I hate him, okay? That being said, if we can laugh at that person because they're an idiot, then yes, have them on the show for a quote-unquote redeeming character arc. But if they're like a dangerous person, like a scary person who just thinks, I'm a strong personality, that's just who I happen to be, that's just who I am, there's nothing you can do to change that, then you shouldn't have them on the show, because clearly he hasn't learned his lesson, and he has stalked women and put women in danger to a degree where they've had to file restraining orders. Don't have someone that's actually dangerous on the show, because it's really scary to see their minds work. I'm not even playing a game. Like, these are real. This is really how someone manipulates someone and puts someone in a corner. And I'm just seeing a side to him that I'm like, I don't want to see a dark side of a dangerous man. And that's what we're watching. And I'm like, get him out. That's how I felt about Michael. I'm like, I don't feel that bad that they all knew Michael was a faithful, but he's hard to work with. I don't want to work with him. Get him off the damn show. He was annoying to watch anyways. Like, we don't want to watch that either. So vote him out. But I will say also, I want to say, Johnny Weir is playing the game how I would play. I think Johnny Weir is so funny on this show. And by the way, he is playing the exact way I would play, which is, I don't like when they hold in who they're going to say till the round table. I think they think that that's like a big reality TV move, is I'm going to drop it all in one swoosh. That rarely works out, because when you're in the moment, you slip up or you stutter your words, or you can't predict what's going to happen. If you don't run it by anyone, it was probably going to fail. So Johnny Weir is like, hey, before we go to the round table, let's get the exact number we need to vote these people out. That's how I would play the game. That's probably how I would play Survivor as well, is I would be like, okay, I need 5 people. Let me make sure before I go to this vote that all 5 people are going to vote with me. And then we'll go to the round table and I'll make a statement. But to make a statement and no one knows your plan makes it feel shifty. It makes it feel like you're desperate and you're trying to defend yourself and deflect. Whereas if you're like, no, I actually think they're a traitor. How many votes do we need to get this person out? Like, who else thinks they're a traitor? Let's figure this out together. Then people are going to vote with you. So Johnny is playing it the way that I would play it. Rob is playing an all-timer great. Like, genuinely, he is a great traitor. I want him and I want Phaedra from season 2 to be on it together. And then, I don't know. But, like, for me, they are just some of the all-timer great traitor people. And I know they didn't win. Or I don't even think Rob's going to win, to be honest with you. But he's giving a performance that is smart and like, just he's giving really great gameplay, honestly. But I've talked about traitors so much, I can finally talk about The Testament of Anne Lee. If you don't know, The Testament of Anne Lee is this Amanda Seyfried movie that came out. And I'm not into period pieces. I've talked about this before. I'm not smart enough to know the history of that moment, of that time period. So I have a hard time understanding, do they have plumbing yet? Has this historical event happened yet? And so because I don't know that, I kind of just assume the worst. And I find it very, I just think it's just not for me, okay? It's just not for me. 100 years ago, I can handle everything. Like 1910s down, I can handle. But like it's anything before, like in the 1800s and back, I'm like, I just don't know. And at this point, I'm like, is there slaves? Was there still slaves at this point? Okay, I probably don't want to watch this movie. That's honestly how I feel. I'm just like, I don't want to think of like these white people going through this experience and then knowing like, yeah, people still own slaves right now. And like, I get there's this heroic story with this white person at the lead of it, but people are owning slaves. Like, there are bigger issues. That's how I always feel about these period movies. That's not funny, but it's just the truth. That's why I don't like to watch them, because I'm like, once we get to the 1920s, it's like, okay, like things, it's not like at least there's not slavery anymore, and at least there's some fun pop cultural things happening. You know what I'm saying? We can do like a Great Gatsby thing. But like anything above that, I'm like, okay, dude, I'm just thinking about the fact that there are slaves right now, and it's just like ruining the movie for me. That being said, I went to go see Testament of Anne Lee, not because it has anything to do with slaves, I'm just saying, even though it is a time period piece, because I saw Amanda talk. I'm using a first name for this. I saw Amanda talking about it in an interview, and she was talking about like how they showed they showed a birth scene for what it fucking is, like bloody and intense and like fucking hard, a true ass birth scene, and men were walking out of the theater, and I'm like, okay, well then I gotta see this movie because I gotta see this scene, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, I want to see the truth. So I'm going to go see this movie, and I also love Amanda, and I also thought the way that you were using movement in the trailer was very interesting, and I hadn't seen a lot of things like that, so I went to go see it. That being said, I'm not smart enough to understand the movie. I think it was really interesting. I think Amanda gave a terrific performance. I thought it was unique. They were taking risks in this movie. Just one of those movies that I'm like, I feel like this would have maybe in the past been a very a male role. This would have been a male role, or this story wouldn't have been told. And Amanda Seyfried gives a very powerful, like, of all time type of performance. She carries the movie, a very intense, powerful leadership role in this movie, and she gives a terrific performance. Like, I don't know if she's nominated for the Oscars, I didn't check, but I hope she is. Like, she really gave a great performance. Same thing with that movie about, it wasn't Ann Coulter, the movie about what's her fucking face, the show about the woman who was like, the show that Amanda won an Emmy for. I'm so sorry, I can't think of the name, but it's like The Inventor, but it's not The Inventor. It's like a show about this woman who was like a CEO of a company and kept like faking it, and she never really had a business, and she kept faking it, and to the point that it got like morally corrupt, and she got found out that she never really had a product to sell, and then she went to jail, and it was like very rough because she was like a first female CEO and was like ruined a lot of people's lives because she worked in the health industry and didn't have a product ready. Okay, did I catch you up to speed? That show that Amanda Seyfried was in, she gave a terrific fucking performance. She won an Emmy, and she deserved the Emmy. It was so fucking good. And the writing was so good. And I will say the writing in this movie was very good. Christopher Abbott's in this movie, very important to me personally because I love Christopher Abbott and I find him extremely attractive and very talented. And I would do anything for him. Like, what are we talking about? But he was also in this movie because of course he is. He has great taste in film. He has great taste in roles. He has great taste in the movies he's in. He works with a lot of female directors. I really like him. It's okay. But anyways, I thought the way they used movement and the way they used song, it was quite hypnotizing. And because it is about like a woman who led a religion, she needs to be like a very specific type of person who's very powerful and you believe is a leader. And Amanda just really sold it. And I was just very impressed. I thought she gave a terrific performance, like a very powerful. Honestly, it felt like in the past it would have been like a masculine role. Like, it felt like a Godfather type of performance in terms of like how the magnitude and the power that she had to show on camera, but she did it with a level of femininity and a level of gentleness that made it even more powerful for me. But she gave a terrific performance. But I wish that I need someone to explain it to me. Once Jennifer Lawrence explained Mother a little bit, I'm like, I get you want to leave it up for interpretation. I get that it's art and that is subjective. But when she explained like how Jennifer Lawrence is Mother Nature and her husband is like God, and how they're like abusing the earth, which is their baby. It's an allegory. I needed to be told that because I just thought it was just a fucking intense ass, like Beau is Afraid ass, like just a fucking nightmare of a fucking movie. And then I'm like, knew there was deeper things happening, but I'm not smart. I don't get it. So when she explained that, I was like, oh, bitch, I like it. I actually like that. You know what I mean? Like, I need someone to just like give me a little bit of like just give me a lead, like just give me a hint at what you're trying to say, and I can finish the path, but just lead me a little bit. And that's how I feel about this movie, is I'm like, I know it's about deeper things, and I know that I'll have opinions on that, and that I'll like have something really smart to say once I hear what they're trying to say at first. Like, what are they trying to say? You know what I'm saying? The costumes were great, the hair was great, but what's it about? And once you just give me a seed, baby, I'll make a fucking willow tree. Like, I will like expand on that. But first I need to know, like, what are we talking about? And then I can go there. But that being said, would I recommend it? Sure, go fucking watch The Testament of Anne Lee if you fucking want to. I don't care. I thought it was good, and once someone explains to me like the basic concept, I'm sure I'll love it a lot. Anyways, I need to talk about something else. Another piece of media that I injected into my veins this week very quickly, which was, I believe it's called His and Hers. Okay. Okay, let me actually be serious about this for a second. This is a 6-episode series on Netflix with John Bernthal and Tessa Thompson. It is very good. And I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, well, I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say about this show. I thought... the reason I have a lot to say is not necessarily because I thought it was, like, the best show ever. Like, it wasn't... You know what I'm saying? But it's because there was just, like, so many things happening in it, and I have a lot of opinions about it. So... First and foremost, I'm going to be talking about spoilers, so fuck you if you hate spoilers. But the mom in it being the killer, just fucking saying who's the killer. The mom being the killer, I'm like, I love this show because these women, like, literally, if you're that fucking awful of a person, that, like, just die. I know these are fictional characters, but, like, dude, let them die. Just let them die. Let them burn. After what they did, like, you are a psychopath. Die. You don't need to be on the earth anymore. Like, I was like, yeah, they all deserve to die. Every single one of them. I have no problem saying that. They were fucking awful people. This poor woman, Tessa Thompson, who fucking gives a performance, okay? Gives a great performance. And is holding this fucking thing by glue in the palm of her hand. She had to endure things that are probably the worst things a human being could ever go through because of these women. And I'm like, yeah, die. Like, you have no hope left for you. The world is better off without you. These are fictional characters. Keep this in mind. These are fictional characters. But they just had no redeeming qualities, and they were true evil fucking demonic people. Anyways... The fact that it was the mom the whole time, I'm like, okay, great. Like, that was a good twist ending, and I thought it was good. I thought it was good, and I wasn't expecting it. Great. Okay. That being said, the reason that I clicked on this damn show is because of John Bernthal. John Bernthal. John Bernthal. I can't even think about him. Oh! Okay. I'm convulsing, dude. John Bernthal he's not the type that you may think I have. I don't know what you think of me. But, like, there is just something about him, dude. There is just something about him. And he is masculine. I'm gonna be honest with you. And like, all respect to his wife. Like, I bow at your feet. Like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just meaning, like, for me and where I'm at in my life. John Bernthal. He could tell me to do anything. He could tell me to lick the fucking floor, dude. there is a level of attractiveness, like, there's a level of attraction I have to this man that makes me question who I am. Like, I'm like, is this it? Like, is this, like, I'm gonna die alone because this is the only man that I acknowledge is on the earth. Like, I went down, like, a fucking Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole of everything he's ever been on, every interview he's ever done. I've seen movies that I've never seen before because of him, and that I probably would not have clicked on myself because he does a lot of movies that are, like, the opposite of my taste. But his and hers is right in there. And let me tell you another movie that's right in there that Jon Bernthal is in is possibly his hottest role, because it's insane. It's insane. And that movie's called Sharp Stick. I understand this is a controversial film. Personally, I liked it. And I'm going to be honest. I like it because Jon Bernthal is in it and it gives an extremely titillating performance, if you will. That's why I like this movie, because I'm like, thank God that this movie exists just for the fact that I get to watch these scenes. Like, what is my sexuality? Jon Bernthal in that movie. That's what I'm attracted to. It's not even about his gender. It's not about like his age. It's not about his race. It is about his soul in that movie. That is what Maya Crest is attracted to. I don't have a lot to say to you besides that. I also thought the colors were good, and, like, I thought the aesthetic of it was good, and I don't know. I like the movie, I guess. I like the movie. I understand it's controversial, but I'd rather take an original piece that might be a little controversial than just have nothing. Like Testament of Ann Lee's controversial. Watch it. I liked it. Fuck it. I don't even know what it's about. I liked it. Okay? Go watch a controversial film. See what you think. Okay? I understand if you don't like it. I get it. I understand. It's not like I get it. Like, dude, I literally understand. I'm not Lena Dunham's PR manager. But know what Lena Dunham did? She put Jon Bernthal in a movie that's probably his sexiest role. Probably the sexiest role ever in cinema. Like, it is this. Like, I'm not kidding. It's Andrew Garfield and Spider-Man, and it's him, and it's Will Kirby from Big Brother Season 2. Those are the most attractive pieces of film we have, those are the pieces of film we have that show the most attractive beings on Earth. And, yeah. Anyways, I went down a rabbit hole and I watched Walking Dead. I watched Ford vs. Ferrari. I watched Sharp Stick. He was on a How I Met Your Mother episode. He was in Night at the Museum. He was in a lot of television shows that I really didn't watch, but I just skipped to the parts that he was in and got through the season in, like, maybe an hour. I watched The Bear. I had watched The Bear before because of Io Debris. And I love almost everyone in that fucking show. I love The Bear. But I rewatched the episodes with him in it because he's so fucking charming. He could have chemistry with a wall. He could have chemistry with an inanimate object, dude. He is just, like, the most magnetic fucking person I've ever seen in my life. Men love him and women want to fuck the fucking shit out of him. Okay? That is an it boy, baby. That's an it man. That's an it man. He's such a man, dude. Like, Lana Del Rey plays in my head when I think about him. He's such a fucking man. That's the thing. Y'all are attracted to, like, young men, right? Like, scrawny, like, Timothy Chalamet, like, men. I'm attracted to Jon Bernthal. I'm attracted to Duke Winston. I'm attracted to men, honey. Men! And he's a man. Like, what a man. Lana Del Rey and What a Man, What a Man, What a Mighty Fine Man by Salt and Peppa is playing in my head every time I see him. He's just like a walking edit in my head. He was so good in this show. He was so good. He's such a good actor, too. He's loyal to his wife. He seems like a very grounded, nice person. He's in love with his kids. Like, come on. He seems like a great fucking guy. Anyways. Tessa Thompson was great in it, and I thought it was a good story, and it was only 6 episodes, so I love anything that's really short, unless I want it to be long. Now that I've talked about, I think, all the pop culture I need to talk about for right now, I need to talk about my week. So I went to Miami with my family. It was so much fun. I got to be at a pool, and a pool is maybe my favorite place to be. It's just a backyard pool, brother. And a jacuzzi, a little hot tub, a little hot tub action. Too hot in the hot tub. Ow, come on. I love a pool. I love eating a sandwich at the pool, which actually I probably will not make it in time to be on the Colbert Show, but if I were to take the Colbert questionnaire, I would say my favorite sandwich is a sandwich eaten by the pool with a bag of chips on the side and some Kool-Aid in a cup. That's the best sandwich. Doesn't matter what the filling is. Doesn't matter what the bread is. It's just the fact that you've been in the pool all day with all of your like cousins and family and friends, and then you're starving and your like throat is like dry, and then you fucking eat a fucking sandwich, and maybe you put some chips in that sandwich, and like it's on a paper plate, and your like feet are in the water, and you're sitting on like the side of the fucking pool. That's the best sandwich, dude. Anyways, that was the vibe, you know what I'm saying? And that was very healing for me. There's literally about to be a fucking winter storm, and I was just in a pool in Miami. Like, that's so unfair. But, like, cross your fingers for the storm for real. Be safe out there, guys. Be safe out there. I'm just, like, not gonna leave my apartment. Can anything that bad happen if I just literally stay in my apartment? Am I an idiot for saying this? This is my first winter in New York. So I don't really, like, and I lived in very hot, honestly, humid places the rest of my life. I've never experienced the winter, and this is my first winter, and I'm like, I just won't leave my apartment for 4 days. It's chill. They're already, like, low-key calling for a snow day. Like, it's gonna be fine. Unless, like, it's so snowy that, like, my building caves in, right? Like, that's the only bad thing that could happen, but could that happen? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know. But Miami was great. I love seeing my whole family. Everyone's doing good. Everyone's still kicking. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's still kicking. And then I need to tell you about this boy. So I went on this date. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet, honestly, fortunately for you, because I went on it way too long last time. I need to not do that. But I went on forever about him, but I went on this date. He was so nice. He was such a gentleman. He paid for dinner. He paid for the boba. He was so, like, sweet and, like, engaged in the conversation. There's literally nothing wrong with him. And he's gonna make a girl so happy, dude. Like, he's gonna make a girl so happy. I did find out, and this is on me for not asking before. I did find out he's a Cancer. And I was like, oh, man, wrap it up. Wrap it up. Like, I can't, dude. And it wasn't just that. Like, that's just the explanation for why I didn't feel chemistry or why I felt like something was off, was just because we aren't compatible. It's fine. It's fine. Like, we just didn't have chemistry. He was so nice, and he was, like, just giving me major friend energy. He's an attractive, successful, very kind human being. Like, literally nothing wrong with him. It's just he's a Cancer and I'm a Gemini, and we're not compatible. And that's totally fine. And he's going to get married and have children and procreate with a beautiful woman, and they're going to be great. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all good feelings. Like, I hope he still likes me in terms of a friend. I hope he hated me on the low, because I just don't want to feel guilty. But yeah, that's the update with that guy. So I'm still on the market. But when I say I'm on the market, I mean, don't fucking bother me. I'm fine. Okay, I'm more than fine. I'm actually doing so good, and I don't even want that. So please don't bother me. But that being said, I did see a tarot card reader that did say I was going to have a boyfriend this year, so who fucking knows, brother. But I need to tell you about my day. Now that I've talked about my week, I need to tell you about my day. Literally, this has happened twice in my whole fucking life. My alarm didn't go off this morning. And I know this seems random, but it's just because I need to give you context for the type of day I'm having. Just because my alarm didn't go off this morning. I made it to work in the nick of fucking time. And I'm someone that's there usually an hour fucking early. So to be there when, like, my job is just starting, like, I have to prepare for my job. So I, like, cannot just be, like, there in the nick of time. And I got there in the nick of fucking time. And then I just had a long day. I didn't have time to make coffee, so I didn't have any coffee. I didn't have time to make a lunch, so I didn't have any lunch. I literally, like, didn't put makeup on. I felt like I looked ugly. And when I feel like I look ugly, I feel really bad. And just, like, when I feel ugly, I am ugly. And I don't mean that in, like, I'm actually ugly. I mean that, like, my personality doesn't feel great because I don't feel great. I just need to feel like I look like Sydney Lou Who, apparently, because I love this hairstyle. I know, like, people might see this and be like, she looks like an idiot, but I just love it. I think it's fun and fresh. I think it's literally youthful and fresh and cool and hot. Okay? I think it's hot. And I don't care if you don't. Like, I don't care. I like it. But then I got a coffee around 1 o'clock, which I usually have coffee at like 7 in the morning, not 1 o'clock. So that's why I'm so awake and so alive right now. And then I was so alive and so awake that during my break time, I decided to go see the Testament of Anne Lee right after work, dude. Which I don't usually do stuff after work outside of my home. Then before I did that, I went to Victoria's Secret. Let me tell you something. And once again, is this a lot of information? Yeah. But while I grew up as a chubby child. I grew up as a chubby child. And as I grew up as a chubby child, I thought I had a huge rack. And I did have a huge rack because I'm only 5 feet tall. There's only so many places for your fat to go. And my fat went everywhere, including my rack. So since I've been in college, I am anemic and I have an iron deficiency, so I've been eating I've been more conscious of what I've been eating, and I've been, like, actually exercising for the first time in my life, which just means I've been walking miles and miles and miles every single day because it's part of my fucking mental health at this point. I've lost a significant amount of weight. Like, I'm talking, like, 30-ish pounds I've lost since I've been, like, in high school. And once again, I'm 5 feet tall, so 30-pound difference is a huge difference. I look like I've shrunk as an entire human being. My bras haven't been fitting, and so I, like, finally decided to go to Victoria's Secret today, and I got fitted by a profesh. And you guys, I'm just going to tell you, this might be too much information, but I don't really believe in too much information. I don't really care. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares, you know? But I went from a 32 double D. You heard me. I'm 5 feet tall, and I was a 32 double D, to I'm now a 32B. Can you believe that? I'm a 32B now. I didn't even think that was possible. I'm not even kidding. I literally thought I'm going to have to get a deduction my entire life because I did not like the way my body looked. My body was very disproportionate to my size, so I felt I have a past with that, and I just don't want to talk about it right now, maybe later. But nonetheless, like, I was always like, as soon as I can afford it, I'm going to get a deduction. I now have a rack that I would have paid for. And I don't mean to sound cocky. I don't mean that, like, I don't even, like, feel 110% about my body either, brother. We're all in the same boat, brother. I don't feel great, but I don't feel awful, but I don't feel great. I feel like I have a healthy ego about my body. I'm just like, it is what it is, brother. You know, I just accepted my body for what it is. But that being said, like, I now have the size I kind of, like, just never thought I would have. And, like, I'm actually able to buy bras in the store that fit me. And I don't know, it's just crazy. I just can't believe that my body could do that. I honestly didn't even think. Then I went to go see Testament of Anne Frank. Then I came home. Then I made myself a tuna sandwich with a tomato and a soda. And then I watched the Traitors. Now I'm talking to you. Oh, there was one more thing I want to talk about, and then I'll probably go. I went to a panel with Jeanette McCurdy talking about her new book, Half His Age, and I'm currently reading it, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't read, dude. I don't read. When I was a kid, I read all the time. I would read Harry Potter. I read Junie B. Jones. I would read the fucking Magic Treehouse books. I would read everything all the time. I read 39 Clues. I read I Survived. I was like one of those, as if there's like a common thing. But I was a kid that was like very obsessed with the Titanic. It was just like my special interest as a kid. There were kids like Tony. Shout out to Tony from first grade. Tony gave me a book on the Titanic because he was like, hey, my family was getting rid of books. I know you like the Titanic. And I read that book. Any like realistic fiction book about the Titanic, I've read it, brother. Like, I was known for you know what I'm saying? I would read all the time as a kid. And then when I got into middle school, I think that was during like Divergent, Hunger Games, Harry Potter. Like, that was a good point in for books and pop culture because like everyone was reading those dystopian teen novels. It was kind of a peak time, like Twilight and Divergent, all those things, which the Divergent third movie is so fucking different than the book, and the book is actually good, but whatever, dude. I'm not even, it's fine. Then I got to high school, and girl, honestly, I just got too fucking busy, and I was too exhausted to do anything but stare at a screen. I had a very intense schedule in high school, and like never had any free time. So then, when I went to college, if I was ever reading for fun, I actually read a couple books in college for fun, but it was when I was was on break, and like could like mentally handle the little bit of more brain function it takes to read than to watch a movie or watch a screen. And so I read a couple books in college that were actually great and like maybe a little more adultish. Like I read like Joan Didion books, very, very female college student. I read like Joan Didion books. I read like a couple books here and there by like famous feminist writers, right? And then now I'm post-grad. I graduated last year, and I haven't read a book since I've moved because, once again, it's just been so chaotic. I saw a TikTok with Jeanette McCurdy saying she was going to be at a panel in New York, and that she was selling tickets, and I was like, okay. Like, my sister read I'm Glad My Mom Died, my mom read I'm Glad My Mom Died, and they both really liked it, and so I was like, okay, bet, like, I would read that book if I had time. So I went to this panel, and it was hosted by Lena Dunham. So it was Lena Dunham asking Jeanette McCurdy about her new book, Half His Age, and their conversation was a lot about, like, female rage, which I just find so interesting, and I feel like The Testament of Anne Lee was also about female rage, and I feel like Die My Love is about female rage. And it's a novel. It's not about her life, even though she has experienced like an age gap relationship as her first relationship. But it's just a novel about a 17-year-old who develops an inappropriate relationship with an adult, her like creative writing teacher in high school. And I got the book and I've been reading it on the subway. Do you know how good it feels to read a book on the subway? I feel so much better than everybody else. I do. And not in the way of like I don't have a massive ego trip about it, but I am like I can actually, it's more safe genuinely because normally I'm blasting music and noise canceling headphones, like don't talk to me or look at me. I'm not even like, I'm disassociating in the train thinking of like choreographed music videos in my head about the music I'm blasting in my headphones. When I read a book, I'm like aware of my surroundings enough and I can actually hear what's going on. And on top of that, I'm more conscious of my stops. And there's no Wi-Fi down there, so when I go on TikTok on my phone, it's like, it doesn't even work. And so I go between TikTok to listening to music to TikTok to listening to music. It doesn't even matter. My commute time is like the perfect amount of time to read a book. It's like 20 to 30 minutes. And so to do that on the way to work and then on the way back from work is great. And it honestly does make me want to keep on reading other things. But I'm just so impressed with the way that she is writing about female rage. Because right now what's going on in the world is so violently heinous and hard. And it's literally, we're going through a Holocaust. Like, it is one of the worst moments that the world could possibly have in all of history, is like world wars. And we are going through politically, it's not even about politics, it's about human rights. We're going through a very tough time right now. And if things are violent, things are not okay. it is really hard to live right now knowing this is happening and knowing like that it's going to continue to happen because he's going to be the president for the next 3 years and he's going to completely ruin everything, and who knows what's going to be left of us by the end of this presidency. It's really hard. And I feel like I don't really know where to put my emotions because you're battling so many things. Like, I literally feel like I'm in fucking cabaret. I feel like I'm, like, going to work, like, my mundane, actual, like, personal life. And then in the background, people are getting killed. It's not even in the background. It's in front of our faces. People are getting killed. Innocent people are treated completely unethically and inhumanely and just completely tortured. It's happening in real time. And I do feel angry about it because I know how we got here. I know why we got here, but I'm mad that we're here. It's so unsettling. It's more than unsettling. It's one of the worst things like that the world has gone through. It's terrible. Everything that's going on right now. I'm not just talking about ICE. I'm talking about AI, I'm talking about women's rights and trans people and how awful the economy is. Like, everything is contributing to this generation's Holocaust. And it is so dangerous to be outside. And it's awful. It's really awful. And I am angry about it. And I'm also really sad about it. And I think now more than ever, especially white people, like, obviously, especially white people are the people that need to make the people who don't understand what's going on is wrong uncomfortable. It is not a time for gray area anymore, girl. It is not a time for, like, well, we can respect each other's differences. It is not the time for that. We are dealing with people killing people in the street. Literally. We are dealing with children at a preschool age being taken out of the country without any due trial, without any, like, communication with, like, we are talking about awful fucking things. We're talking about the fucking Epstein files, which is why all this chaos is happening, is because of that situation. That, like, complete demonic evil shit. Like, that's what I'm talking about. The level of evil shit going on right now is, like, overwhelmingly obnoxiously there. And I didn't even mean to be talking about this, but I'm just talking about, like, now is the time to be rageful. Now is the time to make people uncomfortable. Now is the time to say something. I understand that everything I'm saying is probably extremely, like, yeah, obviously, like, yeah, if you have a heart and you're a human being, then obviously what you're saying is right, and I'm preaching to the choir here maybe. But it's important to still say it. We need to keep talking about it. I'm going to share one last thing. I swear I'll stop talking. But I'm going to share one last thing. I remember in high school there was this girl. Her name was Sophia. I hope it's okay I'm saying her name. It's a good story overall. But Sophia was in high school with me. She was in student council with me. And I grew up being a people pleaser. Like, my whole MO is, like, make people comfortable in social situations. And the way that I, like, function in life is, like, make everything okay, make everything okay, make everything okay. And so when I am confronted with someone who does have a different opinion from me, when I was in high school, I would be like, I would freeze and just not say anything. Instead of doing the right thing, which is saying something and saying, like, oh, that's not okay to make that joke. I just would freeze and not say anything because I didn't want to make people uncomfortable. And usually, quite frankly, it was, like, other high school boys that I was like, I don't know what to do. I was, like, seeing myself through a male gaze. I was insecure, blah, 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 right? I wanted to be, like, I was raised religious, like, I want to make people comfortable and not push the envelope and all those things. I want to be a quote-unquote good girl. I'm not going to fight back or make people uncomfortable. Sophia, I was around these boys in student council who were making inappropriate jokes, misogynistic jokes, very mean jokes about this girl. And I was, like, 15, and I was sitting there, like, I didn't say anything. It wasn't like I ever was like, yeah, you're right. Like, it wasn't adding on. I just literally would stop talking and, like, and do something else. Like, I would, you know what I mean? I just wouldn't acknowledge it because I didn't know what to do. Sophia, and they made those jokes. I was so uncomfortable. And I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like, And Sophia walked in and was like, why are you saying that? She was, like, respectful about it. But she was like, What? She's a really nice girl. That's misogynistic what you're saying. She labeled it. She said it wasn't okay. She complimented the girl. And she did the uncomfortable thing in front of these boys. And she made me feel so much more comfortable. I was like, thank God that she said that. Because I wasn't brave enough to say that. I was a coward. And that was like the moment for me that I'm like, I need to be the girl that says that. That was like, it literally changed my life. There might be another girl overhearing this conversation and makes misogynistic jokes about girls and overhearing that and feeling so uncomfortable too. And I'm just sitting there and I don't want the boys to feel uncomfortable, so I'm not saying anything. But no, it's more uncomfortable to not say anything than to say something, because what if another girl is overhearing that? They're going to feel comforted by the fact that I'm saying something too. I need to be the person that I want in the world. And I think that people who make misogynistic, racist, ableist, homophobic, transphobic fucking jokes should be made uncomfortable. And should feel awkward and should understand that it's not okay to say those things. And it's actually it's genuinely the kind thing to do, to let them know, hey, when you're in a social setting, that's not the right thing to say. It's not right. And I understand that you have like a different point of view, but it's not okay to say that. Because it is racist, because it is misogynistic, blah, 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 blah. And it truly radicalized me. Sophia later went on to invite everyone to a lunch that I wasn't invited to, but I still like her. Like, I don't even care that she doesn't like me. I get it. I understand why she didn't like me in high school. I was not cool. I get why she didn't like me. I was like very naive and very religious and not cool. And like, I get it. Okay. I get it. But she was beautiful and cool, and like boys liked her, and she was standing up, and she was a girl's girl, and it literally radicalized me of being like, that is the type of person that I need to be. And that's how I feel about everything. I feel about human rights in general, is there's something not okay happening right now. Just acknowledging it and not ignoring it is doing something. Voting is huge. Being politically knowledgeable and keeping up and not ignoring what's happening, documenting it, talking about it, talking to everyone and saying, this is weird and abnormal and really unethical, and this is not okay, is important. We need to talk to each other and communicate about this time right now. Because it's not fear-mongering. We are fearful. Everyone is fearful, and no one is safe. They've made that evident. They've killed every race, every gender, every age. They've killed everyone with, like on the street without due process, just on site. It is insane. So, I don't even give a fuck. I don't care if like being angry is unattractive. I think it's attractive to stand up for what's right. And when something as crazy as this is happening, it is attractive to cry about it, because it is devastating. And it is okay to be angry about it. And it is attractive, actually, to be angry about what's going on. It's not okay to just sit down and be like, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Like, everyone has a right to their opinion, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm angry. I'm sad. This is not okay. We need to talk about it, and we need to do whatever we can to fix it and do our best to fucking acknowledge what's happening so we can put an end to it and not do it again. And make reparations for it too, bitch. On that note, stay safe out there. I love you.